You know, there's a moment in life when you realize just how precious every heartbeat really is. Maybe it's when you're sitting in your favorite chair, enjoying a quiet afternoon, and suddenly, something doesn't feel quite right. Your chest tightens. Your breath gets short. And in that instant you wonder, could this be it? If you're over 60, you've probably thought about heart health more than once. And you're not alone. Millions of seniors face the same fears, the same questions. But here's what most people don't talk about. What if you're alone when it happens? What if there's no one around to call for help? That's why today, we're going to talk about something incredibly important: how to survive a heart attack when you're by yourself. Now, I know this isn't the most cheerful topic, but stick with me, because what you're about to learn could save your life. These aren't just random tips. These are proven steps that can buy you precious time when every second counts. And trust me, once you know them, you'll feel a little more confident, a little more prepared. So, let's start with the first and most crucial step: recognizing the signs. You've probably heard that chest pain is the big red flag, and it's true. But a heart attack doesn't always announce itself with a dramatic Hollywood-style collapse. Sometimes, it's subtler. You might feel pressure, like someone's sitting on your chest. Or maybe it's a strange ache in your jaw, your arm, even your back. Some people just feel dizzy, nauseous, or break out in a cold sweat for no reason. Women, especially, often experience different symptoms, like sudden fatigue or shortness of breath. The key here? Don't talk yourself out of it. So many people think, oh, it's probably just indigestion, or I'm just tired. But if something feels off, don't ignore it. Your body knows. Listen to it. Now, let's say you do recognize the signs. What's next? Call for help immediately. I know, this sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people hesitate. They worry about bothering someone, or they think they can just wait it out. But here's the hard truth: the longer you wait, the more damage your heart could suffer. So pick up that phone. Dial emergency services. And if you can't reach the phone, make noise. Bang on the wall. Yelp for help. Do whatever you can to get attention. But what if you're truly alone? No neighbors nearby, no phone within reach. That's where the next tip comes in. Stay calm and focus on your breathing. Panic makes everything worse. It speeds up your heart, which is the last thing you need right now. So take slow, deep breaths. Try to sit or lie down in a comfortable position, preferably with your knees slightly bent to ease pressure on your heart. If you can, loosen any tight clothing around your neck or chest. Every little bit helps. And here's something you might not have heard: coughing can actually buy you time. Now, this isn't some old wives' tale. Doctors have studied it. A strong, deep cough can help keep blood flowing if your heart starts to falter. So if you feel yourself fading, take a deep breath in, then cough hard, like you're trying to clear your lungs. Do this every couple of seconds until help arrives or you feel stable again. Now, I know this is a lot to take in, but these first steps, recognizing the signs, calling for help, staying calm, and using controlled coughing, can make all the difference. And in the next part, we'll go over even more life-saving tips, like why aspirin could be your best friend in an emergency and how to position your body to reduce strain on your heart. But for now, I want you to take a moment and think, do I know the signs? Would I recognize them in myself? Because the truth is, when it comes to your heart, there's no such thing as being too prepared. And you're already taking the first step, just by being here, by learning, by caring for yourself. And that's something to feel good about. So stay with me, because we've got more to cover, and every bit of it could be the thing that saves your life. Now, let's talk about something you probably have in your medicine cabinet right now: aspirin. If you're over 60, chances are you've heard that aspirin can help during a heart attack. But here's what you really need to know: how to use it, when to take it, and why it might just be the simplest, most powerful tool you have in an emergency. When a heart attack strikes, it's usually because a clot is blocking blood flow to your heart. Aspirin works by thinning your blood, helping to break up that clot or at least keep it from getting worse. But timing is everything. The sooner you take it, the better. If you suspect you're having a heart attack, chew one regular strength aspirin, 325 milligrams, don't swallow it whole. Chewing gets it into your bloodstream faster. Now, if you only have low-dose aspirin, 81 milligrams, you can take 4 of them to get close to that 325 milligrams dose. But here's the catch. Only do this if you're sure it's a heart attack and you're not allergic or on blood thinners. If you're unsure, call emergency services first and ask. Now, let's talk about positioning. You might not think about how you're sitting or lying down during a heart attack, but it matters. If you're feeling lightheaded or short of breath, lying flat on your back can actually make things harder for your heart. Instead, try propping yourself up slightly. Use pillows, a couch armrest, or even a rolled-up jacket to keep your upper body elevated. This takes some pressure off your heart and lungs, making it a little easier to breathe. If you're feeling nauseous, turning slightly onto your left side can also help. But what if you're out in public when it happens? Maybe you're at the grocery store, taking your daily walk, or running errands. Here's a tip that could save your life: don't try to tough it out. If you feel those warning signs, chest pain, dizziness, sudden sweating, stop where you are. Sit down right where you're standing. If you're driving, pull over immediately. I know it's tempting to think, I'll just make it home, but the strain of pushing forward could make things much worse. Instead, signal for help. Honk your horn, wave at someone, or even yell if you have to. Most people want to help, they just need to know you're in trouble. And here's something else to keep in mind: don't drink water or eat anything. You might think a sip of water could help, but if you end up needing emergency treatment, having food or liquid in your stomach can complicate things. Just stay still, stay calm, and focus on your breathing until help arrives. Now, let's talk about preparation. Because while knowing what to do in the moment is crucial, there's a lot you can do right now to make sure you're ready if the worst happens. First, keep a list of emergency contacts, not just in your phone, but on paper too. Stick it on your fridge, tape it to your bedroom mirror, or slip it into your wallet. Make sure it includes your doctor's number, a close family member or friend, and any important medical info, like allergies or medications. If you live alone, consider getting a medical alert device, one of those necklaces or bracelets with a button to press in an emergency. They're not just for falls, they can be a lifesaver during a heart attack too. Another smart move? Tell the people around you what to look for. Maybe your neighbor checks in on you, or you have a weekly coffee with friends. Let them know the signs of a heart attack and what to do if they see you in trouble. Something as simple as saying, "Hey, if I ever look pale and start sweating for no reason, call 911 right away," could make all the difference. We've covered a lot here: aspirin, positioning, staying put when you're out in public, and how to prepare ahead of time. But there's still more to talk about, like why rubbing your chest is a terrible idea during a heart attack. Yes, some people still believe that old myth, and how to stay mentally strong in those critical moments. So stay with me, because in the next part, we'll wrap this up with the final steps, and I'll share something that might surprise you about what not to do when every second counts. Remember, you're not just learning this for yourself. You're learning it for the people who love you too. And that's worth every minute. Let's talk about something you might have heard from well-meaning friends or old-fashioned advice: rubbing your chest during a heart attack. Maybe you've been told it can help break up the clot, or get your blood flowing again. I hate to say it, but that's one of those dangerous myths that just won't go away. Rubbing or pressing hard on your chest won't stop a heart attack. In fact, it could make things worse by putting extra strain on your heart. The only time forceful chest pressure helps is during cardiac arrest when someone is performing CPR. But during a heart attack, your heart is still beating, it's just struggling. So remember, no rubbing, no pounding. Stay calm, use the steps we've talked about, and let the professionals handle the rest. Now, here's another mistake people make when they're alone and scared: they try to drive themselves to the hospital. I get it, it feels like taking action, like you're doing something instead of just waiting. But driving during a heart attack is incredibly dangerous. Your vision could blur. You might pass out. And suddenly, you're not just risking your own life, you're risking others too. Even if the hospital is just 5 minutes away, don't do it. Call an ambulance. Paramedics can start treatment the second they reach you, which gives you a much better chance than if you show up at the ER after delaying care. And while we're on the subject of what not to do, don't take nitroglycerin unless it's prescribed to you. If you have a history of heart problems, your doctor may have given you nitroglycerin tablets for chest pain. In that case, yes, take it as directed. But if you've never been prescribed it, don't borrow someone else's. Nitroglycerin lowers blood pressure, and if your pressure is already dropping from the heart attack, that could be disastrous. Stick to aspirin if you have it, and leave the rest to the EMTs. Now, let's talk about the mental side of surviving a heart attack alone. Fear is natural. Panic is natural. But you can train yourself to stay focused. One trick is to talk to yourself, out loud if you have to. Say things like, "I know what to do. I've called for help. I'm going to get through this." It might feel silly, but it keeps your brain from spiraling into panic. Another trick? Focus on slow breathing. Count your breaths, in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, out for 4. This keeps oxygen flowing and stops that "I can't breathe" panic from taking over. Finally, let's talk about after. Surviving a heart attack is just the first step. Recovery is where the real work begins. If you've been through this, or even just had a scare, tell your doctor everything. Don't downplay your symptoms. Don't brush it off as just gas or probably nothing. Your doctor can help you if they don't know the full story. And if you haven't had a heart attack but you're over 60, now's the time to ask your doctor, "What's my risk? What should I watch for?" Prevention is always better than survival. So let's recap what we've covered. Know the signs: chest pressure, jaw pain, nausea, sudden sweating, and don't ignore them. Call for help immediately. Don't wait, don't second guess. Chew an aspirin if you can, unless you're allergic or on blood thinners. Stay calm, control your breathing, and don't rub your chest. Never drive yourself to the hospital. Prepare now: emergency contacts, medical ID, and teaching loved ones the science. Most importantly, believe that you can get through this. Age is just a number, but knowledge is power. And now you've got that power. So tell me in the comments, have you or someone you love ever faced a health scare alone? What helped you stay calm? Your story could help someone else. And if this video gave you even one useful tip, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more straight talk about staying healthy after 60. Because here's the truth, getting older isn't about fearing the worst. It's about being ready for anything, so you can keep enjoying the life you've built. And you're doing great. Now go out there and live it.